OKFM 101.7.
Yara Dennis Miracle Aboagye, Director for Local Government Office of the President. Now you know anything come. Mira Memoache.
Kwame Nkrumah speakers here. Senior, Joseph.
Nabokodi.
Divine selections. And then I say about midfield, there is Lugaka.
But midfield, you are an offensive midfield.
I could do some division.
And serious.
I will be any sounds over Hano.
I say, now, my memory, the Republic Press or the Abana, somebody had to say those opposing lithium deal have no better job to do. Dennis Miracle Aboagye slams critics. Will be a deal you possibly only Mapabi.
Say Juma, we will say it will be a friend of hazards of the job.
Oh,
every single day, be a Kwame Nkrumah continue reduce. And now, yes, what you know, Juma Kasama about any political parties. Every single day, we face the hazards of malice, hazards of misrepresentation, hazards of misreporting. And then you have a baby. Inti anopi me who sa a public story no. The minister back when I said no man, no say asem no kra so tie you. And I say sa na djuma ne city. Enya no kre. I never said any system. And drop Peace FM. Then article. I Dr. Che. And then me am senior for Mr. Fakai. And I discuss lithium issues. Okay. Me lithium me here. The minimum a war because Latino a born a pie. The boa some the bed things will be bit me a KBS because a day a team more Latino. Don't wanna is fano. Yani a pie bo is here. But lithium common ye dino. And now I think Mohammed Kai said on the petition of Parliament on issues of the lithium. And I may Kai say, I said lithium agreement in a crime. The minister is already taking it to Parliament for ratification. Into Omo Jampe Jan. Into no article in the group. The article I mean it is you. Article I mean may address the article specific issue with unknown specific decision say or the way the petition say Parliament. And I'm saying I call Parliament that into you will pro why in any case to the beer Saturday maybe say be most to me you my now even though I didn't call Parliament that's no still I'll say or call Parliament it's okay. I don't know how the Republic would come and quell such a story about those speaking against. I haven't even spoken against anybody speaking against the lithium deal. I have not. My position on the conversation is that anything that would help to make the deal better at any point in time for the people of Ghana is welcomed. When it comes in negotiations, want to mean for speculations, any assumptions, any theories, any models, because there are parties seated at the table. Definitely, a demo na omudi adiano. Inti omudi adiano any assumptions. Inti say you bet me the assumptions. But there is nowhere, absolutely nowhere, have I actually made. In fact, I'm who's our headlines for Peace FM online. I reached out to your team, and I think that they've made a correction because all kind headline Ukraina now for kind story now won't say boy brapa, but it's okay, it's fine. The most important thing is it is not true, it is false. Nothing like that has been said. And see, I have seen say people from online have done the corrections and amendments to the headline, and I'm sure say Republic is so far the initial story in the show, but it's complete false. I have never said anything like that.
Now,
but it's a substantive matter, no?
Okay.
It's a substantive matter, no? My view on this lithium conversation, and I say, do wanna can say, oh, at the end of Ghana, Japan, and it's opaque, it is not transparent. I say, when you're more drink a can say, then you come later. You are so your baby, a family, a brainy affair. As I say, meaning say, Sasa fellow. Say, nay, the machines costing a cafe, a query factory or what, Sika be brainy, a bob brainy bit in your pie. As you see your other Roma. The fact say you was assassin a woman between the query sites, the English camel. And don't say, and then we could not assassin and make us say, query, tippings, the PFM. A lot of machines will be needed, a lot of resources will be needed, a lot of expertise will be needed. You need a lot of investment. And Sasa rocks and a way assassin more brainy as well. A bit to me PFM. Now, yet query sites, and the chippings. Now, me busi eti menye skefrim ye ni sa Africa no de di kan ye ni sa nimdie no ye to so mienu ye ni akade na ye bitu di akọ abeni ase asase ne so de yi aboni fifam eti kwa nkoma tikese ba o say wa asase we se ni si gina be poso no eye mi se ye hwem ye wemu a ye betu be nya bo apae ne de ye kwari enti so be ma me kwan a anka me meko na me amedi misika ne bibi abehwehwe abetutu fam won kakaka se bibisa wo ho a na se me ko ho se bibisa wo ho a na maba ne aka ho asem ne ma mienu me ba ebia me hu sampa se ne abepo ne si ho na me suspect se bo wo mu no ebia me betu na bo safie ebi nso a me betu no na bepo ne si wo ni nyina ya anwea bo bia nya den enim kwam me bo a de to so miensa se me de me sika be sem na betu a say asasi ye 100 acres. Enti 100 acres asasi a bosi so an tintin ye say a 3 there. Be did say see etimi pie a ball near the tippensa. You be to be a tipper track 20 cubic no. E be a 50 trips. Enti a bonus chance as in money no. Be did say sika ye expect to see a binya woman no $1 million. In our car, so figures you through around in you need to a bonnet here. Into one of I said, Sikabai, no coffin in feeding in the BBA. And I come in the masses be see assassin or your prospection. It's in the lithium conversation, company here come to me. I'm buy every deed in 2012. And almost shot some of this education. And almost I'm commanding the second in our best to a possible so say. Obe to be now, obey an issue in a baby. Na masase na ebo na se ho no e fa pe na ye bo a betu dia ekwawi e fa na aka no e yanwe abo me ni se ni awuni ma yanwe abo no mo ka na sen ni nu ko be fa na yanwe abo
de anya
ebo na e propo no odo saka na propo no
me pendi
e red ye fa na yanwe abo o se ebo ba tan yedin e
propo
eno no ntu fa ye kwawi me bo a
David
but eno so ye a type of rock.
Sure.
Nti obetu ankasa no prospect ne tell say boss FM e bo na obetumi etu no FM we susu akedi say o menya ebia $1 million ba obaba ba yed mine na ankasa obetu e bo no na e bo table na down e fa ye fe ne say e bo obetumi dey ekwawi e fa so ya anwe abo nti usika na odisi mu no ebia obetumi nya ni nyina. That is one aspect of the conversation. Number two, when you are fed to at any when you are buying eggs, now say Bekasa. This is the first time in the history of Ghana, on my way, any of our friend is saying, minerals, yet to be negotiating as much as 13% I can all over the world. And so, what they compare 13% here, what they compare. Other countries are almost to the same minerals. To me say, let me just give you a few. Botswana, almost just about 5%. Burkina Faso, just about 5%. Cameroon, about 2.5%. Ivory Coast, about 3%. Nigeria, Niger, about 5.5%. Tanzania, about 4%. Zambia, about 5%. It clearly, it tells you say. There is a reason why in here percentages, any interest for the states, across the world, and then a certain area. It is an undisputed fact that 13% here are gonna buy and negotiate for this time. No, I was so far. But I mean, they're not saying. Senior, say your buffet about the two a good year now. Want to mean, say, oh, it's not a good year in the mediancy. Maybe a Uber 50%. Want to mean, can I say? Then you want to mean, can I say? Machines, Acadia, investment, and the two feminine. And some between me, Canning free home. Now, and for so a back cannon, and a back cannon, and the in any case, more assumptions in the models. I dare back one young can say, and they say, a good year now, yeah, Babetuna. Out of 100%, and I was a young pay count. And yet 60% in the baby here, lady to a good year, and now 40% in the here. So I'm kind of idea. Then what will happen is that you better like I say, now the 60% they be to the NFP family, and that's like 40%. And you won't count fast for 40% in the year. Yeah, maybe count. Because all the conversations we are having, percentage is based on after weighing the cost of mining the film now, it's a percentage. Senior, don't forget to say, after that percentage is in there, almost statutory taxes in the BIO. I'll give you a quick example. Despitemedia, okayfm. Father Dixon, Bosume Swan. Dr. Osai Despite, and to me, Father Dixon say, Bosume way, advert away in 1 billion and 100,000. Into the facade can in Amam time, baby. Father Dixon, ever called Dr. Osai Despite to a catch and say, Bosume way no. Sika in near you, you may okayfm 800,000. Then you try a toy, electricity, you see, salary, I did see a common committee, and my phone, you know, 80,000. Next, I say, Sikanka Sankasa and Faswa Aka, Ama Doctor Osakwa Despite, and I 20,000 Ghana cedis. And no, and a doctor Osakwa Despite, and so our partners in the on your money, especially a friend saying, Despite Media Group, or back at from the Busia for a Juma a year of Busumi 20,000. Which is 20%. And you cry as a possible. It's Yababe said. Start 20%, and maybe on this fight, every film 10%. Maybe our the partner, another person, 10%. So one year is idea. The best that can happen to them is a better system. But so long as the rock remains under the ground, it has no value.
Now, I
a good year, so yeah, the Sika and Fidie and baby in a bit too. And we should be asking more advocates and say, a cafe pan near the book near the two a good year, a free film. Yet, see a new film, send a better. The car, I won't say na because if he the private person and be true my hair, I cannot, Yenny, a back of Piscan day, anyway. And corporate cannot be so don't forget, apart from saying you can anywhere. And walk around, that risk now, private person and also baby, because it's you. Sikana or Fabano, or the two family we are, the Bian says a good year corner or say, West Person Ubenia. Ubetimania more, Ubetimania less. It's that risk cannot say a day, and also. Scientists, yet to me, ain't deny Ghana from having this interpretation and explanation. Say, the risk that is being born in the mining of the lithium, but couldn't put that on my Ghana. So, yet the ATY and say, Yakwako 2, near the 13% to say, yeah, they whatever percentage. If you are, it's an say, you know what my way, Munti, or bet you on corporate taxes, no baby, or we are, to my four day, you know, and all the ancillary benefits in the day account. If I took a canning in a boomer, you're almost about 19%. That is the sort of conversation that I believe we should be having at the moment. And see,
Uncle Dennis, NDC for a press conference in a year on the Babontin. What much I say? Deal no 4.something% be. Nipebia, almost so crane, they are not disclosed in that matter. Intino no crano nature say almost to one. Nay, say PDS, the end say, you we are say now, shareholders, one of them cry, Baba, Isligum. Enti na wo say 4% no aban mra bonten no ma che nipa ko a eno no ewo wo mo. Minim so what is our conversation so?
I mean, there's no qualms about that. And then prayer, you pass right to information billing. You might be saying, don't forget, say, I did a company, I said I for Parliament. A corner for Parliament, and a minute, you know, MDC crape, MPP crape. And see, all these details are issues are obviously, you know, say a Parliament can probe and get all this information. I mean, shareholding in a business cannot be a secret. So I just say, ain't me a secret. And see, I don't think so, but yet we find don't kata the facts and the reality. So, and that's why we show you nothing Yana Peno. But by the time I'll be able to you know, now it's a move from all angles, you know. I assume. The fact of the matter is say Ghana in the past, you know, your mining contract royalties, you know, are about 3 to 5%. We know you negotiate up to about 10%. It is the highest in Africa and the second highest in the world after Chile. That is fact number one. 13% free carried interest. Typical mining contracts, you know, normally no up to 10%. For lithium, no Ghana, you negotiate 13%. MEF, MEF, which is the Minerals Income Investment Fund, the Ghana, no. Almost about me up.
Now 13%. Inside the WR 13. Oh, you buy at 13. We about 13. At a number, where the fellow to Mediana.
Business, we are not going to say.
Oh, okay.
Auto taxi. So, we are my driver. Who's a young sales? So, we are transporters, and we are sales. And to war taxi or Medina, not taxi near Medina to Adenta. Sales are taxi drivers, you know. And now, if driver be a bit my amount, want to me a man and broso. The other way is obedient in a car mono. Instead of 50 cities a day, no, you're 60. As an appear. The ATS and say, you were a human waka day. So, do taxi driver now. Or better fuel, or better free, or better maintenance, or better free. And Tina, sir, a fine so on, who say taxi drivers are all in Nano. On your sales. 50 cities. It's the over to me. I understand. I don't know what can it be. A Toyota Camry for Moa, who should they be? Maybe a mechanic mono instead of 50 for 10 count. But on to me, going to 200. When the 200 on to me, yeah, because full of better I bet you sit down. That's why all over the world, you know, you'd rather I say the current interest and all of these royalties, you know, and I'm a certain percentage. So what you say? And see, for us to be the highest in Africa should tell you something. So what I say, for us to be the highest, the second biggest shareholder, I can say 13% require the carried interest, but typically 10%. Apart from that, you know, you have to go to say Minerals Income Investment Fund. If to me, I can 6% of the same, if I say, venture. Let's say, if I come one. Pushing a buying equity interest to about 19%. 90% to make us the biggest shareholder. So the second biggest shareholder, the second biggest shareholder. So Ben Yapano, the Atlantic Group, about 25%. And so the question is, I didn't have my mind be I did almost have to now you're bad and say you to me about trouble in terms of percentage. That's the explanation I've given you. That investment in there, no, you have to take out the cost first before you come and negotiate the interest and the margins and the percentage for all other parties. That is a simple fact and that's a simple calculation. And that's you know, if you have 3% in that Atlantic Global Company. So what you say, and who we are, don't forget who we are. Decision making on some of these things we are critical. In the past, you know, the question is how much were we contributing in decision making in these businesses? That is one thing nobody has talked about. But as we speak, you know, based on all the negotiations, you know, you're negotiating for further another board seat in the holding company. I don't know, Bianca wants you. Bianca wants you. You know, you are to catch a business and they say, and someone let's say on the Ghana Stock Exchange. Say the Bay Ghana force to be to me in Yakwan, Ghana for a can you now, a bit to me in Yakwanya day, Atobi. I may say a moment timelines crack on The lesson on the Ghana Stock Exchange, by second quarter 2024 year, it should have been done. Structure and also very biased towards Ghanaian institutions, into pension fund companies, investment companies, financial institutions, and what Ghana, it should be biased towards them. So they be any interest in business. This has never been done in Ghana before. It has never been done. And also in Kofon can once a year. It has also been negotiated. Say, apart from all these percentages, another 1%. 1% on Sika Mubenya Yina answer the better taxes. Now what's a worker wabo in every mono? The gross friend is saying figure Ubeyano and also community development levy of 1%. Also a buyer say say what the Bema communities now move to lithium mono and also let me give you a quick perspective. Opa we are for MC from Fantamano Bekacho. Almost receive equivalent of about 120,000 a year to support development from Abai based on a friend saying mining the manema ecoso. It is about 1%. That's a 1% based on the conservative figure here can want some here and the lithium here. That's about $6 million for the community here to lithium $6 million for the community here to lithium, and this is part of the negotiation. There has to be part of the negotiation, it say, we will not export raw lithium. And see, whether the private partner likes it or not, lithium be a bit piano, it's all setting up a processing plant in Ghana. Now, processing lithium now, sir, yes, if you on my way, one, it's going to create a lot of jobs. It's going to open up the area wherever the processing plant will be set up. And then two, value, the better lithium, if you man, we are no. A better was for than saying exporting in raw terms. What it means then is that your interest in the woman value better than that. Don't forget, say, as part of this unique negotiation, it's also the local content. And the local content, is hugely in effect at this point. And as for the local content policy, supply chain activities, contract mining, and the supply of 56 mining inputs by law should be done by Ghanaian companies.
But can say as to whether you're verifying Wahanu, the document is silent on that sanity.
Oh, it's part of the negotiation, it's part of the agreement.
Okay.
It is part of it, is there.
But I think Mohammed say his own understanding no no or pa no be no ha on pa would be so that open.
What I think he rather meant was that the details on the establishment of the plant, the regime for the establishment of that processing plant, it's not detailed in the agreement.
Sure.
Of course,
okay.
Whatever we are seeing is the lease agreement.
Mm-hmm.
So there are other supplementary understandings and details that will come in addition to the lease agreement.
Mm-hmm.
So, but what is important is that in the lease agreement, it is indicated clearly, say, Yama will find out between lithium, then so raw lithium and your my way. And the issue of how the processing will be done, is what would also have to be discussed. That's an additional benefit, an additional discussion that would have to be held. But it doesn't take away the fact, say, the lithium cannot be exported in raw terms. It is in the lease agreement. Don't forget to say, tax regime of about 35%, is the highest in the world. It's the highest. It's among one of the highest. It's among one of the highest in the world, 35%. So tax regime, would also be applied anyway.
Amibo, now and we 13%, we 1%, you're carrying now bomwa tax regime to a quantum tune of 35%.
MEF has the right. MEF, MII, Minerals Income Investment Fund, and our granting institution, almost in their same negotiation, they have been given the right to offtake up to 40% of the concentrate on commercial terms. It's a home propriano. MEF, Ghana, Yankasa, Japan, MEF, has the right, some of them for 40%. 40% too. Say on pill. It is up to MEF to decide say you better or not say you. We know a man MEF coin to bring additional investors in the processing value chain. Because the processing abenti, and one popular baby so abba, and one popular so ebano, mef a buying Ghana. It's also better me another arrangement with other investments to also come and do business within that same space. So what you say? It's young to me in cancer. For example, development of byproducts, as has been negotiated, first part, which is a byproduct of lithium, used for production of ceramics and fiberglass, and also will not be exported in raw form, but will be off taken by Ghanaian ceramic companies. We say, no, can say Ghana, South near the baby Ghana. It's that agreement, this agreement has entrenched it. Say, South sells Spana, ceramic businesses and fiberglass and idea. You will not export it.
Now, America, Obidi Abba, my main king Kaima, we or say, I want to ask a humble question. But before that, let me commend the government for efforts in making sure that our lithium is mined in commercial quantities for national development. All the issues raised cannot be overlooked, but the truth is, government wants the best deal for the nation. That is what they went in for. Please, my question is, how much was used by the foreigners for the prospecting? I'm hearing different figures, and I want to know what was actually spent on that process, using it for a research work.
I think so. I have research work there. I can quickly, you should reach out to Mr. Isimo Minerals Commission, and they can give you the figure. But of course, I know it's around $50 million thereabouts. But I mean, you can always reach out to Mr. Isimo for the actual figure. Especially because he's needed for his research work, it would help. But senior, I am saying all of this because sometimes when issues come in Ghana, now a lot of these other aspects of the negotiation has been spoken of. It has not been spoken of. It has not been spoken of.
Okay.
Yes, sir, what we are doing is that we are denying the people of Ghana the facts of the matter for them to be able to also understand the issues. If you're about Ghana gets in, you're between 30%, but I buy a short idea and I buy a 19%. You see, when we talk about negotiation, never be going into it. And it is important that we put out the details, every single detail of the agreement. Then you realize, indeed, this is one of the best negotiated minerals agreements you can find anywhere in the world. And the figures are there, public knowledge. Wait me, I check it. That is not to say, Obi Efi say, Yamani be bet to me, we cannot do it. That is not to say that. But to me, so based on speculations, any theories, any models, and such a well thought out, detailed negotiated agreements. You can't do that. Based on all models, imagine your mistake. Imagine your mistake, can we one film, not the two film, between a four. Imagine your mistake, and count the 3 in 10, other 14, and between your 7. When in actual sense, you didn't say you're 3 in the debating chain, you didn't say you're 4 in the debating chain, and you're 6 in the debating chain because we are negotiating with the facts. We are not doing assumptions, we are not speculating, but we are dealing with the facts. And when it comes to negotiations, you don't speculate. Use the facts. If they have the facts, then they can say, oh, based on these facts and based on these details, they did this thing. I didn't pay you see and basic. And nothing that means say the agreement is going to Parliament for ratification. Parliament will have the chance to scrutinize every aspect of it. But Ghana, know the problem is what I am mistrust and the distrust. Obia suspect Obia the Nemifa and the Jubi. At the public crowd, the Pania Baya, the Panada na say, what on Tia Samaria. We then Yana say, MP before signing agreement. Oh, and your papa. Papa can say, your papa crown, what Basha, and the first reaction is, and your papa answer, all Babeton and Boise, about Basha details, And that is where I have a problem with. It is going to Parliament. The people's representatives are in Parliament. 275 of them. I am very sure that when it gets to Parliament, every other fine details are akano, it will be dealt with. I'm not the only person that has concerns with some of the doomsaying and some of these negative thoughts and retorts about this. Renowned persons are almost, when it comes to this industry, they've all spoken about how, if anything, Samjo Namonia there, Dr. Samjo Namonia there have all spoken about how they believe that this is a very good deal for the people of Ghana. And I don't think that I can, or some of us can claim to know more than people like Sam Jonah and these, for me, are some of the reasons why I believe that we need to be a bit more cautious when we are dealing with this.
Medasanope. So Yera Dennis Miracle, Aboagye Director for Local Government, Office of the President, in the Nigerian Common Pacho, Edro.
OKFM 101.7.